gonna record. So I'm gonna record my experience with Amazon Redshift. So I realized I was working on BigQuery, and um, so let's start now. So Amazon Redshift console. It's pretty easy. It's not something. So you need to you put up your dash 48. And then you have to, so just one moment please. It takes a bit of time but I think AWS Redshift is really powerful, and you can even go for trial. I already have my trial, so I'll show you how to work on it. There are So you basically click on services, Amazon Redshift. So today's tutorial I have is about you can just click on customize settings, default namespace, IAM roles not applied. So use default settings. So it does not show the role IAM role. So command access role you can, yep, and this is how it is. Or maybe you can customize settings. You can change the namespace to default to something else. You can manage IAM roles. So what you do is you create an IAM role for S3 bucket, any S3 bucket. Associate an IAM role that, yeah, you can just read it. Amazon Redshift all command full access policy attached. So create IAM role. Create the IAM roles without specifying S3 bucket, right? So no additional, you can just select with any of them, right? So I selected this one. So these are, you can change the namespace to whatever name you want to put. For example, I want to put to dash namespace, namespace, and this is all done. So we already have what is default role? What does it have? Just let's go through the default role first, because that is very important to access the content in the S3, because without this you cannot access the content. Amazon Redshift all commands full access. So yeah, it's just details, you can put, or maybe associate, these are the two roles, user log, and you can select the RPUs, base RPU capacity, Redshift processing units. RPU is not just basically Redshift processing units, and then you and set default, select both of them and save configuration. So now it's starting your Redshift cluster. I think it's so, yeah, you can just go ahead and you just click on and wait for 3-4 minutes, because it's just starting your Redshift cluster. And I think it's not, I've gone through so many YouTube videos, but I couldn't find the right content, because it's, I don't know if the things are very simple, but they're being complicated. Maybe people, I understand IAM rule in a very different way, and so you just have to wait until it starts. And because I really like the AWS Redshift. Initially I was working on BigQuery and Azure, data warehouses, but I realized AWS Redshift is far and way ahead of those warehouses. Each warehouse has its own feature. I think its own advantages, but I would rather prefer AWS warehouse, because, yeah, AWS Redshift, because I think it is very simple to use. It's